Bikes, boats, and boards.
Oh my.
We've heard your big plans for year 2 of Riders Republic, and now it's our turn to build it out. Hold on tight, because this one might get weird. Welcome back to the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
We have the October community update from Riders Republic. It is over on the Ubisoft blog and over on Reddit. And they hit a couple issues, mostly minor, so they got some tweaks to the game about performances and crashes. They have an update about the free-for-all event that happened over the weekend, a little change to the bailing mechanic, and finally, they are hyping us up for the new shop that they talked about a few months ago, but it is still right around the corner, so we don't know everything about the new shop yet, but it is coming soon, and they also want to know your feedback on the new outfits from the season, so if you're enjoying them or you're not, let them know. We also have tentative dates for TFG Director Mode. We are looking to premiere the video Saturday, October 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern, maybe the week after, and we have 8 submissions, so we can't wait for you and for us to see all of these beautiful edits.
What does the guy say in Vegas for all the fights that it's time? It's definitely time for us to take our guesses at what year 2 is going to look like in Riders Republic. I think we're going to just rip through them like we did the last 2 weeks, right? And then we'll come back, and obviously we only have 2 to talk about, so we'll compare and contrast and swap notes on the back half. Do you want to go in like in name order, Nick and Mitch? Nick, then Mitch?
I think that's easiest, yeah. Why don't we just go for that?
Me first. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to start out Season 1 of Riders Republic Year 2. It's going to be called Snowdrift, and that's because snowmobile racing is going to be the main focus. Obviously, that funky is going to be the racing sled, so a little more action, a little more give in the corners there. Probably some different sounds and a bigger tread. And then Season 1 other would be natural plus stadium courses. So a course like you're going to see that's man-made at the X Games, and then something out in nature that you're just going to have to follow a course like another mass race. Season 2 is going to be called Surf and Turf. And that's going to be because water is now officially rideable. You can do things on the surface of the water. That funky is going to be a kiteboard. And then the other thing, we'll probably see a second funky that'd be like the mountain board kite. So like a kiteboard on land and a kiteboard on water. Just bringing that metric in from steep. You used to be able to like ride the wind patterns up the mountain. Bringing that back in, bringing wind as a factor and a physical thing back into the game. Season 3 would be Derby Dash, and that's because small wheel sports are coming to the mountain, and those funkies would be the rocket inlines. But of course, they would be accompanied by vert parks for BMX, inlines, and skateboards. So all of those small wheel sports would be slowly making their way into the game throughout that season. Lastly, Season 4, rounding it out with Motocross Goes Brr. This, obviously, the main focus will be the dirt bike, and Season 4 funky would be the dirt trike. So it's going to look like a jumbo bike, but 2 wheels in the back, 1 in the front, and it's just going to haul. Season 4 others would be more exploration, more focus on the exploration. So these bikes might not be the competition vehicle we're looking for. They might be more of a transportation method at first. But definitely the dirt trike, but there's going to be more for you to explore in the outskirts of the map. It's not going to be focused around just the events. You're going to have more exploration because you have a faster vehicle to explore with. So that's what my season looks like. I'm really excited to see, are they going to be carbon copies? I have no idea. I really hope they're just like exactly the same.
It's funny. Some of it's mixed up the order wise. There are
Oh no.
similarities, there are differences. And
Okay.
I'm glad you went first because you added a little idea to something I already had in here.
Okay.
So build off of it and we can start. Where do you think season 1 is? Come on. It's winter time.
Yeah. Are you going to go like Winterfest?
Yes.
You're going to pull Winterfest again, of course.
Yeah. Season 1, of course, is Winterfest 2 or Winter Bash 2. I can't remember the name of it now, but Winterfest 2.
Steep was Winterfest.
Okay. It's going to be Winterfest then. Because I believe it's a real thing where they got some of the design elements from. But it's going to be Winterfest in the Grand Tetons and Mammoth Mountain. So they're going to add in a lot of those fun, wacky races and obstacle courses. Redesign the ridge for all of wintertime, but based on Winterfest, more of a carnival. The main funky is going to be sleds, but good sleds.
Like toboggans.
Yes, like toboggans.
Okay.
They control much better than the ones you lay down in, not the little wooden rickety ones that we got in Nate? There might be, you know what, we'll have several sleds. You'll get different types. Maybe a build your own sled. No, I won't go with that for my official prediction.
You were hitting build your own go-kart a while back. We were playing a video game. I think it was Mario Kart, F1, NASCAR, one of the racing games, and you were like, I need a go-kart game. You're really on the build your own models now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we'll just get a couple sleds and they'll add in some free-for-all races modes, but have like the Winterfest theme, obviously. And they're going to add our voices to the official radio station for the winter one, the Christmas one.
I'm sold.
Season 2.
Does every single one of your seasons have a radio station that's voiced by us? Is that your other for?
No, I just did it for winter for this year. Maybe year 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Year 2 is the test.
Fair.
Season 2 is going to be Brop Brop, which is motorsports. So we're getting the dirt bike and the ATV. Going to take over the lower map, all of the dirt areas, and they'll add some trails and track additions. So some of the racing that you would see in some kind of freestyle tracks, mostly built out of dirt. And it will probably be kind of like the freestyle snowmobile we got. That's where I went with. I don't think they'll go too in depth, but maybe they will. But at least in my past, I'd be fine with the kind of arcadey freestyle snowmobile.
Oh, 100%.
Season 3, I went with Schools Out. So we're going to get lots of customization and outfits based on school. And then we're going to get all the fun things that you would do in the summer. So Zorbs, drift trikes, and box cars to ride downhill in.
There's the go-kart. There it is.
And then, man, I threw in a lot in this one. We're also going to get scooters.
Jeez.
Just like scooter kids.
Yeah,
that might be the funky, though. Or maybe that's the main sport and the others are the funkies.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. I can see
we'll get a lot of those. And then season 4, I'm going to throw in the creator camp, which was the one I've thrown around a lot. But the stadiums that you talked about gave me more of an idea. So they'll take a few sections of the map. So maybe one downhill section in the snow and then maybe an indoor stadium. And that's when we're going to get the park designer that is asked about a lot.
Right.
Just a ton of people. So they'll give you kind of a set area to build in. But then you can add in the ramps and kind of rails and shape how it looks, maybe design the inside a little bit. The idea would be, though, then you can load in other people's creations and actually try out their park designs. And the best ones each month actually take over on the physical map for everyone.
Oh, that's awesome.
So maybe they take Bear Park and then redesign it. And then next month they choose someone else's design. So it's like a constantly rotating place on the map.
Right. I mean, and that is like I get that we have like the content sharing features in the game right now. You can share lines, you can share your pictures and all that. That I feel like more folks would want to create something that's awesome. You know, like they would be more driven to create something for the incentive of you're going to change the way that this game is laid out for everybody for the next X amount of days. That's really cool. When you have like a big sign that says, you know, created by Mitch up there, it's just hanging up at the entrance of the park. Yeah, that's so okay. So how many games are we consolidating into Riders Republic at this point?
All of them, essentially.
We have like Theme Park Tycoon, like any of the Tycoon games with the park builders. We have Boxcar, which I'm sure like there's some kind of like 4-wheel racing. You have dirt bikes and ATVs. There is an entire genre of games that is just dirt bike and ATVs. Does Riders Republic become the official video game of motocross? like US competition motocross.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't played the newest MX ATV games. I've played the Monster Energy Supercross, which is good for the indoor stuff.
Yes.
I don't think there's as much outdoor.
No, I mean, that's all like, that is the sanctioned professional motocross racing in the US.
And I think that's where their opportunity is, because the only other big action sports game I'd argue in this area is skate, and skate coming out. And the thing that kept that alive for so long is being able to drag and drop props all around the map and place stuff down. And it's now Skate 4, Skate, whatever they're calling it, is much more social. So there's just like, at least in the previews, there's a lot of players running around just doing goofy stuff.
Right.
So I think riders could really do that for almost every action sport and just try and add them in. They don't have to be great. Just like we said, like the freestyle snowmobile, just get them in there for now. And then you can constantly build new maps, new parks. And if you give the community those tools, then like it becomes something that everyone will want to play, because then every sport's in there. So even if you have people who like dirt bikes, they can also do that in Riders Republic.
Yeah, I do. You know, there's something to be said for both teams, both camps right now, where you can overload it with a bunch of sports and a bunch of different things to do. You can really cater to everybody, cast a wide net and just pull everyone into this awesome adventure game. Or you keep it niche and you do one thing very well. You know, you do a skate, you do a Skater XL, you do a steep, where you do a motocross where you're just focused on that one thing, but it's the best version it's the best BMX, best mountain bike experience you're ever going to get in a video game. Or do you still want it to be a chaotic mess that your beauty is found throughout? But you know, that is very interesting. There are things to be said for both sides there. I don't know where I fall, because all of what you just said makes complete sense. And I've been on the camp of keep it in the adventure sports, but like keep it to the snowboard and the skis and the bikes. You know, keep it like some semblance of steep, where it's like, this is our thing. But now I'm seeing all of these extra additions. Everyone's asking for water sports. Everyone wants dirt bikes. Everyone wants Zorbs. Like whenever you load Zorbs into a game is when you know that it's just a free for all. Like there's no going back. It's just whatever. It's a grab bag of a video game. But if they do it well, it's the first video game of its kind. Like that's almost like a Just Cause for adventure sports. Like just do whatever you want. It's like a GTA, you know, where you can curate exactly what you want to get out of your experience in the game. I'm torn.
It's tough. I do think though, like when they want to go with 5-year games and game as a service, I think what they have now, they're out of stuff, because you don't get many events added. Like when we got new jumbo bikes, you get like 4 or 5 events. And that's it. And we got BMX, which is a decent career, but still 17 events. And then that's it in one area. So I think they just really need to work on, if they have all the sports, then they can focus on the season pass and the year pass being locations or parks or like stuff that you would add to the editor. And I think their best route forward to keep people playing long time and coming back for those passes is to make sure that the creator tools are the best they can be.
Yes.
So creating races, and they've been asking for feedback. That was like the big feedback they've been looking for the past few weeks. And they hear it a lot. So people they really want to help, or they need to fix the creating events, because not many people use those and they're very limited. So creating parks, replays, photo mode, if they can make those tools the best they can be, then they can add whatever wacky sports they want and people will play, because there's something to come back to.
Right. And I mean, not to discredit competitive gamers, but at that point, sports can almost become a prop for what you want to create and what you want to do. You know, that's the way that you and I play games as well. I mean, what drew us back into GTA, I want to say year 4 or 5, was whenever the races, they started build your own custom race maps. You know, so you're back in the game. Cool. You gave us a sandbox to play in. We already know the universe. We already know how everything works. Give us that next step to make this game our own. And then you just go out there and make monstrosities. I mean, how many hours have we spent in Minecraft, in Fortnite, building our own maps and our own you know, you have all of the I don't know. I'm really spiraling like off on these like big old stump speeches. But yeah, I do think that the creator mode is the way to get this game through the 5 years, the 5-year plan that UB has now. You can keep adding as much, as many sports as you want, but until the folks are able to build a map that they want to enjoy, yeah, that's still, there's always going to be that sect of people that really want that, and the game's not going to feel complete until we have that ability. Fair, I get it. I noticed you didn't have any water sports.
Mm-hmm.
So are you just writing off water? Like, where do you stand on the water sports? Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I could take it or leave it. I don't need them in the game, but I think they would be cool. I think it's a lot of wasted space.
Yeah, I think they would be really cool. I just think that's too far out to put in the game. Like,
fair.
They would,
okay.
Like the water, just the water that we see in the game. I think they'd have to make a lot of changes to water physics to get that workable. It would be really fun and it would fit the map. But that's something that you almost have to work on for like a year 3, 4, or 5, or like a slow burn project until the water physics work with sports. But then they could have a lot of fun with the water.
Right. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. I was going to say, do you think that would be like, obviously, it could be a year 3 pass or whatever. Do you think that would be a DLC? I feel like that might be, or is that too big to fit into just a DLC? You're editing so much of the game's DNA at that point. It would just have to be a free. Or do they just change it with an update? Hey, water's rideable. Download and buy this DLC so that you can play the water.
I don't know, because
in like base game, you're able to like skirt the skis and the snowboards over the water, but you end up just sinking and going back.
I don't know. that really divides people. If you like,
that's true.
Charging for the water specifically, the sports I could see.
Ubisoft's charging us for water.
The sports, sure. Like if they update the game and like add some new map stuff, and then you have to buy the sports, kind of like right now. If you have the pass, you get the BMX career. If not, you got to hand over some money eventually.
Right.
I think you do that, but they still have the bases. Like you have the park you can explore. You just can't do the BMX in it or do the events. But I think that's a major overhaul, and I think there's too many other major overhauls to get done first for water sports to come.
That's fair.
That could be in the future though. Hopefully, I mean, people want another map. They just want more things to do. So maybe I build that into, I don't know, year 3, and then this game kind of becomes like The Crew, where you're just constantly expanding on it instead of releasing a new game, like dropping it and then making the second version.
Yeah. But if you do it well, like I said, if you give the folks the tools to make this game evergreen, to just continue on and on and on for years to come, why do you need the second game? If this works, if you have the creator mode, if you just keep adding sports, and honestly, at some point, you can pull sports out of there. If road bikes aren't doing it for anybody, sorry, we're going to sunset road bikes next season. Get them while you can. And if you want to keep them, here's some way that you're able to keep it, or they're in Zen mode, they're in offline, whatever else. You can still record times, but it's just not going to be included in the main game. This is interesting. And this is the first game, Steep was very to the point. You might be able to hear the dirt bikes and the ATVs outside right now. Welcome to Baltimore. But Steep felt like very much, DLCs added the extra. It's like, here we have the game. This is what it is. If you want more of the game, buy it, and add it on. Whereas Riders is in this new, I don't want to call it, it's a dynamic map. It's a dynamic game. Everything can be changed any given day of the week. So how do you use that to your advantage? You're not just selling the base game. What you're buying Riders Republic now, today, if you went to the store and bought it, is not the same game that we had 1 year ago. I mean, most of the locations are the same. The map's still the same, but different elements have changed, different thing, there's so much that this game is just changing behind the scenes constantly that it could have longevity. I really think the year 5 plan, or the 5-year plan, might be a little short-lived. I don't know. Games like GTA, games like that just are ever long. They just keep going. Introduce this season thing like Fortnite, like everything else. It's that one little new thing to just keep you going, and boom, a whole new element in the game.
Yeah, I don't know where they would almost relaunch it or like with a second map, but I do think the best way, like you're saying, is to make sure all those creator tools are in there, and then people won't be as upset with the season passes that we're getting, because it would be fine if, and almost like an early access where with my Schools Out season, they could say, here, we're throwing a scooter and a skateboard in. It's not great, but you can ride them. And then they take feedback and then they modify it. And then maybe 2 more seasons later, they're like, hey, here's a bunch of changes to the skateboard.
Right.
So you can like add stuff into the game and see what people think and keep developing the sports, but the foundation's there to keep playing. So I think with some better creator tools, like that would help out.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Look at us. Look at us having a full-fledged, in-depth conversation on the future of the game. We sound like professionals. Just to wrap this up, if you don't have anything else that you want to bring up, one thing. If we can only pick one thing, it can be something that we have on our sheet. It can be something that we've seen in the past 2 episodes. What would that one addition be to the game if you can only have one? Sorry, how many times can I say you only get one?
This is one realistic thing, or
no? Just wish list. If Ubisoft called you today and said, Mitch, you get to add one thing into year 2, what is it? What's it going to be?
Are creator tools one thing, or do I got to pick one creator tool?
They can be. I was thinking more along the lines of the actual game, like the sports, the parks, Do you want a stadium? Do you want ATVs? Do you want dirt bikes?
Well, I would want the customizable like park, just one where you could build your own section. But I will say dirt bikes.
Yeah, I'm. So your number 1 sounded like it was the creation, like the park creator. Your number 2, dirt bikes.
Yeah,
mine was flip flopped. Okay. Dirt bikes first, park creator second. So yeah, that's no surprise that we both want to play the same video game. It's like we play this game together all the time. Cool. I really liked this, and I think we need to do more form-based listener questions. This is a really cool topic, and honestly got my mind thinking a lot more than like a community update or something that someone posted on Reddit. Actually figure that. Actually getting feedback will help us formulate our own opinions. Cool. Thank you to everyone who submitted over the last 2 weeks and is watching this 3rd episode on the same topic now. Next week, the main topic, we promise we will quickly go over what that community update had to offer. I know Mitch mentioned it in news, but we can give it a little more love before we get into next week's topic. But until then, I think we're done. We're going to close this book on year 2 in review. Let us know down below what you really want to see. What is your one item that you need to have in year 2 of Riders Republic? Let us know. Mr. Water digging through the archives and bringing back a very familiar game type. This is a single area edit brought to us, like I said, by Mr. Water over on YouTube. Knocking it down at the X Games Park.
Good location choice. And this is kind of like Shred This Spot, I think it is, right? Yeah. If we ever get that back again in the series.
Call him out. Go for it. Floor's yours.
I'll message him. We'll talk about it. But this,
I'm going to take this private. Oh my God. Stefan, I'm sorry.
We've seen a few of these ideas, though. I love them, where you shred a single spot in Riders Republic and just see how many tricks you can pull out. And Mr. Water, I think it's only his 3rd video, so I can't wait to see some more.
Yeah, absolutely crushing it for video number 3. So much to do here. I mean, and it's not just BMX. He's hitting the wingsuits. He's hitting some boards. I love this all around, hitting that jumbo bike on the half pipe. What more can you ask for? Shout out to Mr. Water for that one. Go check it out. Link down below. We're going to move on over. Once again, Zerk getting focused. Pretty sure Zerk is just always focused. I know Zerk is gets focused. Like, Zerk is sometimes not focused, but Zerk is always focused. He does not miss. These videos are amazing. Another BMX stunt montage from the GOAT.
Yes, and I'm just gonna take the clip with the fisheye lens and the
shiny
BMX
pants
with shiny pants and his name above it, and just send that to Ubisoft physically on a DVD and say, we need director mode. Look how cool this shot could have been. I'm fired up now.
You really are. Like, at this point, I don't think you're going to just message Stefan. I really think you're going to handwrite a letter, put postage on it, and send it around the world. I'm concerned. Mitch's views and Mitch's actions do not represent the channel as a whole. There we go. We have our disclaimer. We're good to go. We have yet another BMX session from Hollow Endeavor. This one at the Ahwahnee Hotel.
Nice.
Or Ahwahnee Hotel. Wow,
I don't know, but this is again shredding a single spot. This bull has gotten so much use. It was getting use on the mountain bikes before we got BMX, and now they have returned.
Oh, can you imagine like a sesh in here with like 6-7 riders just all crushing it at one? That'd be sick. Yeah, we need some sort of bowl contest. That'd be really fun. Do they have one in the game yet? Am I talking out my butt?
I don't know exactly.
Someone let us know. Do they have a bowl session yet? And if not, this is the perfect place for it. Hollow Endeavor showing off the real estate. Let's get on this if we haven't already. Again, sorry if I'm just making things up. My views and my statements are not a direct representation of the channel as a whole. There we go. We got a disclaimer. We're good to go.
You are done. And finally, we closing out the episode. Of course, we have Ian Hawk BMX with another BMX edit, more just awesome video work and riding.
There's going to be a day where Ian does something other than BMX and really throws us off, right? It's going to be like awesome BMX riding in Riders Republic, and it's just going to be like a sled just hanging out.
It's going to be the scooter whenever they add that. Don't worry.
Here comes the scooter. Year 2, we are ready for you, whatever you may bring. Thank you for joining us for episode 47. Out of our first 100 guaranteed episodes. We're chugging along. We're close.
Getting close to 50, and a very special thanks goes out to our YouTube members, our executive producers, Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, our co-producers, Fans and Fans Plus. And if you want to become a member, just hit join down below. Helps out the channel, helps us make the cool videos, do some cool intros, and we'll be posting some cool behind the scenes or early looks at the director mode video once we have this.
Yeah, and just if you're concerned, if you're worried, no, none of the money that you give to the channel goes towards the postage that Mitch is going to start sending all of these hate letters out with. That is all. I guarantee you it's coming out of his pocket. We're making sure the books are correct. If you just want to enjoy what we have to offer over here at Nick and Mitch, you can just subscribe for free, and that's going to make sure it's going to ensure that you catch all of our Riders Republic content along with all of the other games that might be coming in the future. That is a long game. That's the one and only time I'm going to mention a new game. Including, you can catch all of the Riders Republic content, of course, including our weekly episodes of the Riders Report and our X Games style competitions. TFG Director Mode scheduled to premiere Saturday, October 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your calendars. We're going to get a thumbnail for that video up on the channel sooner rather than later, so you can set that bell and just be alerted through the app. But that is all to come in upcoming week. We will see you same place, same time next week for episode 48 of the Riders Report. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see yins on the slopes.